All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 62. Today on the show, Kanye West wins Anti-Semite of the Year. You won't believe what's causing blood clots and heart problems in this week's housekeeping. Progressive Karens are convinced criminals are the victims in this week's Urban Decay. And we're finally getting an answer to the age-old question, what will happen to the country if the Biden twinks take over? All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 62, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Grabboy.
Guys, it's me again to tell you about what's coming, a food shortage. Maybe I'm being extreme, maybe I'm being crazy, but deep down, we all know I'm not. You need emergency food supplies. We all do. I have them. It's very important to have. And the last thing you'd want to do is find out that you need an emergency food supply when it's too late and you really need one and you don't have one. Don't let that be you. MyPatriotSupply.com is the website. Go there today. It's great food. It tastes good. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, everything you need in an emergency situation. Hopefully you'll never need it, but based on how things are going with the current administration, I hate to say it, but it's a good time to have some emergency food kits. MyPatriotSupply.com is the website. It comes fast. Shipping is free. The boxes are unmarked for your privacy. And if you go there today, you will get a $50 discount off of every month's supply. So get a few months' supplies. If you have 5 people in your family, maybe you get 10 months worth of food, 2 months each. That seems like a pretty reasonable thing to do. Big discounts when you go do it. MyPatriotSupply.com is the website. Go there today. Tell them Fleccas sent you. They support the show. Let's support them right back. What better product exists than emergency food kits? It's so important and it makes a great holiday gift. MyPatriotSupply.com is the website. Let's get into the show. All right. Thank you to My Patriot Supply. Very nice of them to be sponsoring the show so much. Yep. It goes a long way. It's very important to have that food on hand with what's coming. Housekeeping. We have a very important housekeeping this week. I don't want to say one of the most important ones we've ever done.
But you say that every time, so go ahead.
Yeah, but it's up there. Yeah. All right. The things causing heart attacks and blood clots this week. Da-da-da. Drum roll in post, please. Playing sports. Playing sports is now causing heart attacks and blood clots in young people. We have a bunch of headlines here.
Yeah, Carolina Panthers defensive end Henry Anderson reveals he was hospitalized for minor stroke. Doctors were baffled. A lot of baffling. We've said that before. Doctors seem to be more baffled than ever.
Yeah, they have no idea what it is.
Yeah, the experts.
I could tell you probably. I could give you a few hints.
Yeah, you know.
Why do I know and you don't?
Yeah, they say trust the experts. You know, trust the science, trust the experts. But I mean, I don't know. Their baffle rate is like seemingly 50% these days.
Very high baffle rate.
We're going to cruise through these. But Tennessee senior center Tamari Key out for season due to blood clots in her lungs.
Man, what baffled?
Yeah. And then there was a 25-year-old former football player, Jake Hescock, who died suddenly from cardiac arrest while jogging.
All young people, all people 30 in their younger than 30s.
Yeah.
For the most part.
There was also a journalist. I guess this would be sports as well. Mm-hmm. He was a photographer in Qatar, and he died while covering the FIFA World Cup. So sports adjacent.
And also the journalist who wore the gay shirt in Qatar, he is dead now. And a lot of people are thinking that he got killed for being pro-LGBT. Mm-hmm. But I would say, I think it's a 50-50 coin flip.
Yeah, he kind of had a two-way go.
He probably got vaccinated as well.
Oh, he was up to date. His tweets said he was up to date.
So, what kills you first? Being pro-LGBT in Qatar or getting the vaccine?
And that's as close as a coin flip as it gets, yeah.
I do think it's a coin flip. I don't know the answer to that, so that's why it's in housekeeping, you know?
Absolutely. And then also I want to say that a lot of these articles or these headlines are from Gateway Pundit, who is now kind of becoming the us version of what's causing heart attacks. They're just documenting all the died suddenlies.
Yeah, so if you search died suddenly on Gateway Pundit, you have a lot of scrolling to do. Yeah. A lot of people are dying suddenly. And I'm going to raise the question for the comments. Do you guys know anyone who died or got severely messed up from the vaccine?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. I know people say anecdotal evidence isn't evidence, you shouldn't use it, but I think that's a psyop.
Oh, yeah.
I think anecdotal evidence, It's like that's what I go off of.
Yeah, it's a sum of everything that's coming in and out of my mind, and then it's like, I can't draw conclusions. I just got to wait for a paper to come out.
Yeah.
From a scientist who did a study that lasted 2 weeks over 14 subjects.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can kind of get there too.
You can't use anecdotal evidence. You have to listen to whatever Dash Dabrowski's tweeting.
Yeah, and you can't listen to the anecdotal evidence of the doctor saying, "Hey, I pulled out more blood clots in healthy 25-year-olds than I've ever seen in my career. It used to be 1 a year, now it's 3 a week."
And it's like, that's baffling.
Yeah.
I'm baffled.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the media itself has used up their baffle count. They're like, okay, guys, we need a new word. Like, doctors are baffled. That's 40 publications this year. Move on.
Yeah. So very strange. Anecdotal evidence being bad is a psyop. It's the fallacy, where basically the idea that an argument is wrong because it falls under a fallacy, discounting the entire argument, is like the incorrect thing to do. You have to go based on the facts. So I think that's a fallacy. Anecdotal evidence is strong, and I think it's something we should use.
Yeah, gut instinct. I'm really leaning on my gut these days.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on, we have a very important housekeeping this week. Did you know that we export beef to China, and then we import from them pea protein to make our Impossible burgers, our fake meat?
Yeah, do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
It says, America exports beef to China and imports pea protein to make fake meat. Pea protein is a waste product in China from Crystal Noodles. Americans have been brainwashed into eating China's waste. Meanwhile, they're eating our beef. We've been owned.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We
major
eat their
trade
scraps.
imbalance.
We eat their scraps.
Come on, pea scraps too.
And we go, oh, that's fine.
Impossible burger.
Smush, yeah, exactly. We eat their smush.
Yeah, there's nothing to say. I mean, you don't eat weak animals. You don't eat insects. You don't eat pea byproducts.
Yeah. I stopped eating chicken because what am I, going to act like a bird?
Can you just lie to your audience like that? You stopped eating chicken?
When was the last time I ate a chicken?
Bourbon chicken at Payway this weekend.
That doesn't count. That's different. That's Chinese.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
that's a good point.
You avoid chicken.
I avoid chicken.
Chinese.
I focus on ribeyes, but Payway is a hidden gem. Yeah. We went to the mall last week. I had to get some clothes for a DC trip I'm going on. I had to get a tuxedo shirt.
Do you want to tell the story?
Well, it's hard to not look like Meatloaf every time you try to buy a tuxedo shirt.
Well, I'm talking about the lady who you asked, hey, do you guys have tuxedo shirts here?
Yeah.
Fleccas goes, I'll tell it then, fine. Fleccas goes, hey, do you guys have tuxedo shirts here? We walk up, and she goes, yeah, what size neck are you? 18 and a half? She kind of eyeballs him, and he goes, yeah, 18 and a half, 19. She goes, well, we only go up to 18. You want to go over there. And she pointed to the big and tall section. And then I go, wait, we have to go to the big and tall section? I clarified with her. And she goes, yes. And I go, but you're not tall. And so that leaves what? So sorry, I had to tell that. I mean,
Skewered
do you
me.
know how many times you've skewered me when I don't even know what's coming? So
A lot of times I made it up.
I know.
So this could be made up.
No. I don't skewer like that. So I said, and I made him say, so we're going to the big and tall section, right?
Yeah.
And you're shorter than me.
I'm 6'1". It just doesn't count as too tall.
I know. And then we get into the big and tall section. Everything's a dress. Everything's fucking like, it looks folded. And you're like, what is that?
And you see the other guys there and you're kind of like,
keep your head down. And then it's like, yeah. And then there's that edge of the big and tall section in the mall in Dillard's. So you kind of like hang out and act like you're on the edge of it.
Yeah,
but really,
yeah.
You're looking in.
You hang in the brackish water. Yeah. And then you look in and then you're like, all right, that's what I need. You go get it, you buy it, and then you get out as soon as you can.
Yep.
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that's how you do it.
Of course.
When we were at the mall, we discovered a kill box in the mall. When you're walking into Macy's or Dillard's or whatever the big store is, there's like the perfume
Department
store. There's the perfume people standing there and they're handing out the samples.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized if you take one, it makes them realize, oh, this guy's in the market for perfume.
It's
and then
blood in the water.
It's blood in the water. And then they just start lighting you up more. So there is a kill box in the mall that you guys should avoid because once you take one, they think that that's our mark. We got to go get them some more samples. So avoid that. Last weekend, we had a nice ride on the mini bikes. The cops tried to get us.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of a part one and part two. Here's part one. Richard Ratboy talking to the cop, and we parked illegally on the sidewalk, I think was the problem. Mm-hmm. And then
this cop stumbled upon us. We kind of like went out to lunch in the French Quarter too, which was our mistake.
That's the problem.
You know, you can't park your bikes on the sidewalk in the French Quarter and expect to go unscathed. But yeah, so, and then part two.
Part two, I don't think we should say fully what he told us because we're not going to admit to like committing crimes, which we didn't. We're not committing crimes. You should see what goes on in New Orleans. There's something called Sunday in the Square where like 1,000 people on ATVs and dirt bikes and motorcycles and quads and everything just like take over the streets.
Yeah, they act a fool. I believe is the verbiage.
Yeah, and they do whatever they want. They do whatever they want. So Richard Rappo was talking to the cop, and I knew he was being calm. And you had an approach that was very smart, where you're like, "What was it? You caught me."
Yeah. No, so he's reading. He goes, "Oh, did you know these are illegal?" And he's like, not even looking at me. And I'm like, "Yes, sir. Yeah, you know." And he's reading all the labels, and he says, "Not for use on a public road and on public roadways and stuff." And I just give him the line. I'm very cooperative with the police. I'm not here to give this guy a hard time. I just go, "So where do we go from here, officer?"
Like, yeah,
that's the line. So where do we go from here?
You caught me red-handed.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? And then I saw he was kind of giving you a hard time. He had his iPad out. And then I came over and I said, "Have you ever seen Sundays in the Square? We're going to get in trouble for this?" And then he's like, "I don't care if people do it. That doesn't mean you can." And it's like, all right, dude.
Kind of does.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
We're going to get in trouble when you can do literally anything you want. You can go shoot somebody and then the mayor will come defend you.
Yeah. And then so end of the day, he basically said, you have to tow these out of here. You can't ride them out. You got to get a truck and tow them out, basically.
Yeah. So here's us towing them.
Here's us towing them out.
We're going to become that guy's white whale.
I know.
We're going to see him and get out of there. I'm not ready. You know, and even if you do get towed, it's like, all right, tow him. And I'll go pick him up and we're going to keep doing whatever we want.
Yeah.
Or, we're confiscating him. Cool. We'll get new ones. They're like $800.
Yeah.
So
we're not giving up the road.
We're not giving up the road. This is Wild Hogs. This is the wild part of Wild Hogs.
Exactly.
So everyone knows that. All right. Next, we're still in housekeeping. We have 2 pages of housekeeping, which is very good. We're not even halfway through. We traded Brittany Griner for the Merchant of Death. And I'm pissed because the Merchant of Death was badass.
He looked very cool. He was a cool guy.
They had the guns near him. He had the jumpsuit and like the chains on his feet and his hands. And we get some basketball lesbian who has weird pictures online where she looks like 100% like a guy, which is fine. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
I don't think she's trans, but there's some pictures out there I keep seeing of her where I'm like, oh, that's a man with no shirt on. I guess it's Brittany Griner. And we get the Merchant of Death. We release him. And he's actually more pro-America than Brittany Griner is. We have a clip to prove it. Look at this interview he did.
Do you hate America?
No. You know, in fact, knowing many inmates, I figure out we're sharing way more common. Maybe America is very much similar. Look, it's the same size. It's the same kind of this. And when you talk to them, there is nothing there even to beef about. We are naturally, born not to be enemies. And whenever there's conflict, it's elites. Every, American I met in a prison who is from rural area was very easy to deal with. He has no problem with Russia, and he was curious about Russia, despite all propaganda. They're losing their Christian values. They're losing their families. They're losing literally their countries. It's not anymore the same country. We knew America, who used to be a model for entire world and be an example, like they say, a shiny town on the, sparkling town on a hill. And this is, of course, pity.
I like this guy.
Yeah, he doesn't want to see a strong America is good for the world, right? And then I think he goes on to say something about Anglo-Saxons running the world and how we can't give it up.
That was like pretty eye-opening.
I think I have more in common with the Merchant of Death than I do Brittany Griner.
100%.
I think Brittany Griner has some crazy worldviews that are like, oh yeah, stolen land and haha, like dude, like we should be dudes too.
And this guy's like, NBA because I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, and then this guy's like, no, you need to work hard and like have a purpose. And
like we lost our Christian values in America. We used to lead the whole world, and now it's falling apart. I'm glad this guy's out.
Kind of what our podcast is about.
Yeah,
the
we need
fallen
to get this guy
state of
Twitter.
America, and like
we need this guy to have a Twitter.
Yeah, I like this guy.
I'm glad he's out.
Oh, and then there's also the whole other thing, like, oh, he's an arms dealer. He arms African countries and whatever. And it's like the CIA paid this guy.
Yeah,
This guy got a $60 million contract to arm someone from the CIA, right?
probably.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like, oh, good when we do it, bad when you do it.
And we're arms dealers too. We just gave 100 and whatever billion to Ukraine. That's
Yeah.
arms dealing.
I mean, America is an arms dealer since the foundation of the country, basically. I mean, didn't we arm Afghans to fight against Russia? Isn't that like the basis of all proxy wars ever, is arming a population who's willing to fight and then letting them go at it?
Yeah.
And then you kind of don't give them that one piece that's like the anti-aircraft missile that's like important, so they just get kind of slaughtered.
And yeah.
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a brutal, bloody battle for a long, long time.
That's exactly it. You made a great point. You have more in common with the Merchant of Death than Brittany Griner.
I think that's true, because Brittany Griner holds some crazy beliefs, you know?
Yeah, and that guy said in jail, everyone he met that was American, that was rural, was very nice.
Yeah, and he uses the phrase beef. He learned beef.
Yeah.
Similar to beef.
Speaks good English. Hey, Merchant of Death, not so bad.
I like that too. Like, he's immediately on a talk show in Russia. Like, Brittany Griner, who cares? You got caught with weed. You don't have like a cool story to tell or unique perspective. You're like, yeah, they kind of treated me bad. Ha ha. With that Brittany Griner voice, that deep voice that's kind of like weird.
Yeah, so hey, we said last week it was a bad deal. Good deal.
What do you mean?
Glad this guy's back on the street.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, he's not going to get up to anything. It's not like he's going right back into the arms game. He's been out for however many years. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I made that meme, getting Brittany Griner back and then losing the Merchant of Death. I'm sad on both, dude. I'm sad on
It's a
both.
full 360 L.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We're still in housekeeping. Kanye West wins Anti-Semite of the Year.
Congrats, Kanye.
Congrats to Kanye.
I think that's what he wanted, based on his behavior and stuff.
And it's weird because, like, if you're giving away awards like this, doesn't that motivate the anti-Semites to really ramp it up if they're in like the top 5? If you're in top 5 anti-Semite of the year running, wouldn't you be like, all right, let's win this thing?
Yeah, it's bulletin board material. Somebody got Kanye's pick and they put it on their bulletin board and they're lifting weights. They're writing anti-Semitic prose. They're tweeting harder now. So
here's a thing I'll say about this whole situation. Kanye gets in big trouble for saying he loves Hitler and all that stuff. Isn't saying Hail Satan worse than saying I love Hitler?
yes.
Isn't Satan worse than Hitler?
Yeah, because Satan is Hitler in a way.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's weird because now I'm getting messages about how people's kids are, getting pushed to join the Satan club after school and all that stuff. And like the Satanic Temple's huge.
Yeah, and everybody tries to get like a statue outside of City Hall that's like Baphomet or something.
Yeah. And it's like, that's not considered bad, but like Hitler's the really bad one. But then you talk about like Mao or Stalin or any of the others or just communism in general, and that's not seen as the same. It's just like Hitler's the really bad one for some reason, which is weird.
And his body count was lower than some of those you mentioned,
by
right?
a lot, yeah. Like a small percentage compared to communism in general or Stalin, all those guys. So yeah, it's just weird how that plays out. Have you ever seen that Macklemore picture from like 10 years ago where he did like a concert and I don't know, just maybe pull up a couple pics.
Yeah.
He might have won Anti-Semite of the Year for this one.
I know. I don't think they were giving out the award then. Otherwise, we would have heard all about this. So this is Macklemore?
This is Macklemore. And he's clearly caricaturizing
Jews. I think. I don't know. You told me. That's what you told me.
I mean, that's what it looks like. That's a crazy outfit. And
Look at that prosthetic nose.
It's like, what? All right, you're about to go on stage. You ready? He has his outfit. It's like, are you sure this is a good idea?
Macklemore's got a publicist, an agent. He's got friends with him. And it's like, all right, looking good, guys? And they're all like...
You're up 30 seconds. And it's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Is this the only... Any wardrobe changes?
What year was this from? Do you remember?
I think like 2014 or something.
Okay, we need to go back and look at who won Anti-Semite of the Year in 2014 and kind of make a reconciliation there.
Yeah, for real. All right, page 2 of housekeeping. We're still in housekeeping. We have a lot of housekeeping left to get to. If you're hiding in the closet at someone's house and you're about to get caught by them and they're coming in the room and you're like, shoot, they're going to come open the door and catch me, I think you should pop out first and scare them and be like, ha, I was hiding in there. I was trying to do a bit and scare you. Like, oh, what's going on? Why is everyone so mad? Or like, why is everyone so serious? And then that could maybe get you out. It probably won't.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, I've been hiding in there for 20 minutes trying to scare you. What's up? What are you guys doing? It's like, oh, we were searching for you. We thought you were stealing. Oh, no, I'm doing a bit.
Is that a stranger in this situation or
Well,
what?
I don't know. If you're ever hiding in a closet and someone's like, check in here, and you know you have about 10 seconds, you should just go out and go, boo.
Okay.
That's just an advice. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'll think about that next time I'm in a closet.
And you have a few seconds, and you know they're coming and opening every door, and your door is the next one.
Yeah.
Jump out and scare them and be like, all right, what are you guys looking for? Oh, what? Me stealing from you? Or like me like sleeping with your wife? What are you talking about?
I didn't do that. Wasn't me.
I'm trying to scare you.
All right. Fair.
All right.
Fair advice,
all right.
I guess.
Fair tip, but it's not an ideal situation. So, yeah.
I would advise to stay out of those situations in general.
Of course.
So that would be my
Of course.
advice.
I'll always advise that. You haven't really complimented my jersey.
Oh, yeah. Nice jersey.
I have a Michael Vick autographed jersey, which this is a 2023 wardrobe, which I'm sneak peeking right now.
Nice. Just to instigate? What's your angle here?
I don't know. I'm a nostalgic person. In high school, they used to have Jersey Day. I think I've told this in the show.
Yeah.
They had Jersey Day, and I would always wear Michael Vick jersey. And then the really liberal teacher would always get mad and write me detentions. And then I would go to Brother Gary's office.
You get a detention for the jersey?
100%. And it was like during football season too. So like you can't like miss practice, or else I think if you get detention in football at that time, like you wouldn't start in the game.
Ooh.
And I was like, obviously an all-state football player, like one of the best guys in the team, captain. So like I couldn't get in that much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Brother Gary's office and I'd be like, Brother Gary, I got detention for wearing a Michael Vick jersey. And he's like, who's Michael Vick? I'm like the dog fighting guy. And he's like, ha! And I threw it away. So that's how it all played out. So now I'm wearing it again. I think it's just funny, and people would see it and be like, huh, Michael Vick, like, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wear it to the dog park.
Yeah. And that's like, hey, I'm clearly not a dog fighting. I'm not pro dog fighting. I'm at the dog park.
Just Michael Vick had a really good run
Yeah.
in the early 2000s.
I separate the artist from the
Art. Yeah.
from the art from the crimes or whatever.
Yeah. I'm not listening to Louis C.K. for his sexual advances tips. You know, I like the comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Same with Michael Jackson. And even with Michael Jackson, who really knows what happened there?
Same thing with, this might go too far, but Harvey Weinstein, right? The Weinstein Company.
That's a fair point.
They made really good movies.
Every time you see the Weinstein Company logo, the W, it's going to be a good movie.
I think so, yeah.
I'm not happy about what he was doing behind the scenes.
Some
That's
people
bad.
were harmed in the making of that movie.
Of course.
Actually, that might make it worse. That might disqualify it. But, you know.
Well, if it's a good movie, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yep.
All right, the Biden twink, he strikes again. Sam Britton got popped second time stealing women's luggage, and there's a picture this time.
Yeah.
And he's wearing a man's outfit. So maybe all the women's clothing you've seen him wear, this is my theory. There's all those pictures of him in the dress, him
Heels.
in the brassiere, him in the heels, him in the blouse, all women's clothing. You're telling me that not one of those articles of clothing came from a stolen suitcase? That's how he gets off.
That's how he gets off.
That's how he gets off.
doesn't shop.
He likes it. He gets the lipstick. He puts it on, goes into a meeting, talks about making the nuclear bombs, and that's how he gets off. And that's why Putin's not scared of us, because that's who's making our bombs.
I think he's just disposing of the waste after we've used the nuclear materials. But that's aside from the point.
Yeah.
And I think it's convenient, right? Oh, you're this trans, non-binary muscle pup. Muscle pup is a new thing I've learned from him. But when it comes to flying on the plane, you're taking the easy road out. Wouldn't a real non-binary lady wear heels no matter what? So, of course, it's dressed like a man when it's travel day. When it's a 3-hour flight, all the non-binary goes out the window, I guess.
That's such a good point. And when he's on TV with Karine Jean-Pierre,
Yeah, when the cameras are going.
then it's time to put the lipstick on. That's a good point.
So I actually have to make this. I know a lot of people just hear this story and they go, oh, like he got caught again. Ha ha ha. And they don't look at the details of this. But so the first arrest was MSP Airport and the second arrest was Las Vegas, or he's got a warrant out. And so he actually got away with this Vegas one. The Las Vegas suitcase theft predates the MSP suitcase theft. They couldn't find out who stole the luggage. They couldn't, they had him on camera, but they couldn't backtrack him back to where his flight was to identify him. They just said, oh, it's a guy in this colorful shirt, right? Mm-hmm. And then the MSP theft gets all this media attention and coverage, And the investigator of the Vegas theft goes, Leo DiCaprio, that's my guy. Pointed him out. So he found it through the mainstream media coverage of this twink.
Interesting.
So it was like he was getting away with it.
So we caught the twink.
Exactly. We caught the twink. Publication, people talking about it, memes caught the twink.
The memes caught the twink.
So he's in big trouble. He's facing 5 and 10 years.
So what happens there? He goes to jail for 5 years for stealing some luggage?
Well, so I think usually if it's your first offense, you can probably plead down to like, okay, whatever. I plead down to a misdemeanor. You know how prosecutors
He'll say,
are these
I'm
days.
a muscle pup.
Yeah, I'm a muscle pup. I had no control over myself. I was in the throes of twinking.
That's so his way out.
But so the second theft really hurts him because he can't take 2 pleas for a misdemeanor and probation, right? Because then it's like he'll go to court for the second one. They'll be like, okay, buddy, you have a history of this. You're a real sick
It wasn't
puppy.
just once.
Yeah, so
It's a sick muscle puppy.
so a lot of people overlook those details, but I think that's hilarious that some old investigator detective guy was sitting there watching his TV, drinking his Miller Lite, and he goes, "That's the twink who stole the luggage." And then he got charges brought. So yeah.
Yeah. Good job, law enforcement. Let's finish the job.
Yeah.
And then
Let's bring it to real justice.
Yeah, let's get some real justice here. And then if you guys are obsessed with all the twinks that the Biden administration's bringing in, you're going to love the Twink House puzzle, which we have for sale on FleccasToys.com. It's a very fun puzzle. It makes a great gift for the holidays. Order it fast so you can get it before Christmas. We also have the Hillary Clinton receptacle van, the van that she got stuffed into like a bag of meat at the 9/11 memorial when she fainted. We have the Dan Crenshaw Rhino, the action figure. We have Joe Biden the Clown and the dog-faced pony soldier. These are great holiday gifts. They're all made in America. We have a guy in Nashville who's cranking them out. So let's support the show. Let's support America-made businesses. And let's buy some weird twink stuff for the holidays for the people in your family who are absolute nut freaks like us.
Yep.
Yeah, right?
You said it. You said it all. And then I think we should take odds on who's the next twink to commit a crime or like make the news, right?
What's the one on the top left?
Cooper?
I think Cooper's going to get a DUI for smoking the vape pen.
That's a good guess, actually.
I was smoking the vape pen, not for drinking, for smoking the vape pen.
I was going to say he's kind of like one of the least likely, but DUI type stuff is good. I think Admiral Levine might find himself in some hot water.
I think Admiral knows the game. The monkeypox guy could be talking to minors on Snapchat.
That's true. That's true. He could be. That's
could
true.
be.
He could be. So if you've no slander there,
There's
he could
no
be.
slander.
If that's true, he could be.
Exactly.
Very particular word choice there.
Very particular word choice. Anything can happen.
He just showed up basically for a week, and he burned fast and bright, and he fizzled out. So we're watching, but he's not in the limelight anymore.
Yeah, I think we have our odds, and it's good to get it set on the record.
Absolutely.
For what we think is going to happen. That's
Absolutely.
very important. Cooper's getting a vape pen DUI, and he's going to go, "Oh yeah, it's mine."
What's the pen? I don't know.
I smoked it a couple hours ago, and it's like,
You shouldn't have said that.
shouldn't have said that. Should have said it was just in your car. Should have said it was some friends.
Yep.
Shouldn't have said you smoked it a couple hours ago because now you admitted. Now the cops got to process the DUI paperwork.
Well, if Cooper watches, he might learn something. How to avoid the cops right there.
Yeah, Cooper. Good to see you again. Thanks for tuning in every
Coop.
week. All right.
We could put Dash on there, but that would not have been the Twink House.
Yeah, Dash isn't twink enough. But also, if you ask Dash if he would date a trans girl, I think he'd go, yeah.
He'd have to say,
of course I would.
Which makes him a twink.
Which is in the twink universe.
Holy shit.
That's why people think like, oh, we're being mean with twink. Twink is their word. They like it, and it's true. Everyone is a twink or in the twink universe.
We're misusing it.
We're
but
misusing it a little bit.
We've used it for our own purposes.
Yeah. Well, it's not a pejorative. It's just a descriptor. Mm-hmm. So moving on, last piece of housekeeping. This one really woke me up because I would have fallen victim to the same thing. Man arrested after spending $515,000 that was transferred into his account by accident.
Yeah. So $500,000.
Banker error in your favor was a psyop.
Do not pass go. Go straight to jail.
Go straight to jail. Do not spend that bank error in your favor. I would see that money and I would immediately down payment on a house, or I'd go buy whatever. I would go buy mini bikes.
Yeah. No, and
More mini bikes.
Well, so I think there's now a question, if you get an accidental bank error in your favor, if this guy did the bank error in his favor, yanked out $515,000, put it somewhere, put it in his abuelo's house, left it with a homie, safe deposit box, something, some sort of thing where he could get it back, the time might be worth it. What is he going to do? First time offense, bank fraud. You get a year, and then you get 6 months on good behavior. That might be worth $515.
Wire me that $515.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a decision for each man to make, but just create a plan. You got to put it somewhere.
That's a great point, and I think I'm in the market for a wire transfer in my favor by accident now.
Yeah, me too.
Because then I'll just do a year, and I'll go to the jail, hang out with the merchant of death. I'll get to know some.
I wish he was still there.
I know. If I went to the same one as him, the same jail, I would take the 6 months in jail. Mm-hmm. If it's just regular prison, no.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So good to know. Bank error in your favor does not exist. That's the end of housekeeping. That was an important housekeeping. I'm glad we got through it. We have an important cringe of the week as well. 2 pages of cringe of the week. Our first cringe of the week is a cringery. A father is trying to put the star on top of their tree, and it does not go well. Multiple generations featured in this video.
Don't fall. Thank you.
He's just setting a bad example for his kid. Look at his kid. And everything goes down.
That's a textbook blowout.
Multiple generations in that video. The kid had his arm underneath the chair. The table blows out. You know what's interesting?
His arm's backwards now.
Yeah, his arm's backwards, and you guys have a brutal hospital bill. Looking back, I don't have any memories of my dad doing dumb shit like that.
Like a total wipeout or
like a ladder on top of a table.
Yeah.
Or like a ladder over the stairs. Like we were on the roof, we were on a ladder on the roof, but my dad did a good job of like knowing how the ladder works and knowing like how to position it, and then like safety is first. Mm-hmm. And like I've never seen a wipeout like that, not even close. And if anything like that ever happened, it would be like the kids doing it and him being like, "Yo, don't do that.
You guys just wrecked the house."
Yeah, that's not what you do. So that's just bad. That's bad parenting, and the kid's watching, and then that kid's gonna grow up and be a person who puts a chair on a table to reach the thing on the roof, and then what happened?
You know what the only good decision involved in the whole thing was?
Filming it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now we have something to talk about. At least you have a viral video.
Yeah, bare minimum that you could have got out of it, you got.
That's
Imagine
true.
Getting that and then not having footage of it, and then you're just dealing with injuries for nothing, no upside.
That's true. Yeah, my dad never went viral. All right. Next, we have a drag strip show in New York City. It's appropriate for all ages. We're going to muffle the music for copyright reasons.
So yeah, the kids are really jiving out, and the man's butt is really out as well.
Yeah.
And the front row is all children.
This is for all ages, all kids in the front. You know what's interesting about this, Richard Rapway?
What?
I've never seen a woman drag show get like a stage and a permit in New York City.
What do you mean a woman drag show?
Like that exact situation, but if it was a lady, would be like more normal if it was a girl, but that would still be violently inappropriate for the city. But like that guy got a stage and a permit for this, for an all ages drag show to do that.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a stripper thing for girls, like women who get a permit. Like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's weird that we're giving permits out in New York City for stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a good point. And I think it's the degenerate mind of a man. I think there's a difference there where a woman would never think to do that. But a couple sick, twisted puppies, sick, twisted dudes, they get together and they go, what can we do?
Yeah.
And where do we start?
The woman
Let's
would be
do
like,
the paperwork. Yeah. It's like the
let
old
them
school.
deny us the permit.
It's
then
like,
we really go to war.
Yeah, it's like that old school quote or whatever from that movie where it's like, they're surprisingly very good at paperwork. Like the drags, they just dot their T's and cross their I's extremely well.
It's hard to deny them.
Yeah, and that's the passion they have for infecting children with mind virus. They really want to do it that bad.
And it is a mind virus, and people are very influenceable, especially the children, and we have proof of that in our next video. There's a group called Drag Syndrome, which is a group of young men who have Down syndrome who are also drag queens. Let's take a look at what they're doing.
Lady Francesca. Nikita Gums. I'm a finished star. Give me a kiss, baby.
Oh.
Lady Mercury's in the house.
So this is what they're up to. They do drag shows. And our friend Gavin M. made a video about this where he basically went through the probability of like, all right, they live in the UK. So the probability of like the number of Down syndrome people in UK and then the odds of them.
Which is like 2% of the population or something, right?
Yep. And then like them being interested in becoming drag queens. And it's like you do the math and like it's statistically like impossible.
It's like they're both only 1% of the population. People interested in drags and then Down syndrome people. And then it's like if you do the math, it's like, well, that's 0.001. Like it compounds to be even less likely.
So it's like really impossible. But then like 5 for 5, not like it's one person, there's 5 people. And then that kind of shows how like they're influenceable people. They have Down syndrome. They're probably easier to influence than other people.
Yeah, they're not exactly like, just firing on all cylinders about what their identity is. They're kind of told, to an extent.
And like
pushed in the right direction.
So then you have that, and then it's like, the only people more influenceable than drag syndrome people are probably children.
Than Down syndrome people?
Drag syndrome, what did I say?
Yeah, drag syndrome. But you mean Down syndrome.
Down syndrome people,
because this is pre-drag. They're pushed into drag.
So it's like, it's almost like a way to test your hypothesis. Like if we can get the drag syndrome or the Down syndrome people to do drag, kids is
next. It's next up. It's easy.
Yeah. If we can get 1 in 10 Down syndrome people to do drag, we can get 6 in 10 kids to do it.
Exactly.
It's like that math where it goes parabolic once you understand.
Oh, you reach a critical mass of recruiters, we'll call them, and it goes gangbusters for kids.
So it's pretty much impossible.
And we're seeing the result, right? That's like the entire premise of that Abigail Schreier's book, right? Is that it's a social contagion. We've talked about it on the podcast a lot, how Gen Z is now the most gay, and it's like 25% or something, right?
Like 1 in 5 kids is gay.
And so it's like, it didn't come from nowhere. Didn't come out of nowhere.
Exactly.
It's spread, and it's kind of like a host. You need a host to replicate. It's very parasitic. You need a host to replicate, and then sometimes that host goes, "Ugh, I'm cured. I'm detransitioning," or that was a weird phase. But by that point, they probably had recruited 2 others, or influenced 2 others. So it's a very sick world. It's a very sick, crazy world. And we saw the same thing with Elon Musk has a daughter who is trans and trying to change her name and disown herself from Elon. And you think he's happy about that?
No.
Do you think he's part of the reason that happened, or do you think it's all outside influence on his daughter?
Both. I think the outside influence making his daughter anti-Elon makes her want to be anti-herself and someone completely new. And
we don't know too much about that, but it's like, obviously.
That's the guess, but we're probably correct.
Yeah.
I'm not baffled.
Anecdotal gut instinct. I'm not baffled anymore. I'm going, it's probably this. And the doctors should go, it's probably this. Yo, what's that blood clot in that 25-year-old's leg? It's probably.
Probably the man. This is 2023 is the year of no more baffled. Yeah. No longer baffled.
Yeah.
Next piece of cringe, the moms that are mad that their kids want to hang out with them.
Yeah, this is 2 women comedians.
2 women.
Younger son, now that he's older, I'm like, do you remember when you'd say this? And like, he'd be like, yes. I'm like, why? Why did you make me feel bad? Like, I'd be like, let's say our prayers tonight. And he's like, I pray that my mommy doesn't have to work. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, why do you make me feel so bad?
My daughter does that too. She wants to be with me all the time. And like, I just told my husband, I said, I feel so bad because so much of my time with her, I'm trying to wrap it up. Like she's like, come sit with me while I take my bath. And like the babysitter's there. I'm like, I have a Zoom. I have to go. But I feel like that energy
I have a Zoom.
So much. And it makes me feel bad because then when she's gone, I'm like, I love her so much. I just want to hang out with her. But I have work to do. And it's so hard to make that happen.
Leave me alone. Just go on TikTok and become transgender.
Yeah.
Stop.
I have a Zoom. I got to go talk to the computer.
I have a Zoom.
Are you kidding me? And this is kind of like the principle where we said when you get too far from how your food is made, Like, this is kind of the same principle expounded. Like, yeah, you guys don't think kids want to be with their moms? Like, little kids want to be with their moms. You're
That's
talking
like all
about
they
bath time, and you're like, wrap it up? Are you? It's like, honestly, so depressing.
Yeah, that's very depressing.
And for these women to just talk to each other, I don't know, dude.
Go watch a TikTok and become trans.
Yeah, let the internet raise you. Mommy has a podcast.
And then mommy sees the kids like once a day for a little bit, and the kid's like, "Oh, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl," and it's like, "All right, yeah, you are." Like,
I have to say yes.
We have to work. Let's work on that. Like, yeah, you are. So that's kind of how it plays out.
Yeah,
that's so depressing.
Yeah, it's not good. And
I have to go to a Zoom. It's like, wouldn't you say that and go, "Ooh, that doesn't sound good."
Yeah,
like I'm a bad.
Am I spending my time right? I have limited time on Earth. Am I actually spending it right? Like,
yeah, I shouldn't say that.
Wrap it up. Yeah, unironically, wrap it up to your 7-year-old, whoever needs bath time. Yeah. He's not 20.
The babysitters are there. They can handle it. All right, next, the mom cancels Christmas after the vet bill.
Yeah, I already know what your take is going to be on this.
Especially when
you're pretty ruthless. So it says, mother tells her children Christmas is canceled as she's hit with 8,000-pound vet bill after family's Staffordshire Bull Terrier was diagnosed with bone cancer.
You know what my take is?
Why don't you tell the audience, just in case they don't know?
Let's not pay that $8,000 bill, and let's let the dog enjoy his remaining years. Christmas is not canceled, and if that can't play out like that, and the dog's got to get put down, you put the dog down.
Yeah, it's not
$8,000. How much does the dog cost? $200?
Yeah, if you're canceling Christmas, that's pretty impactful on your kid's life, right?
Yeah,
and the dog who has bone cancer is gonna die,
and he's already old, probably.
Yeah, so he's gonna die, and it's either gonna be die in the next 6 months or die in 2 years from now
because you gave him $8,000 of treatment, and the dog costs $200. I know people don't factor that in as much.
Yeah,
but it's like you can get 40 dogs.
I know that's where you lose me. That's where you lose me even.
It's like, kids, you want to do the treatment or do you want 40 dogs?
But it's just like you're going to make everyone sad, and then everyone's going to kind of semi-resent the dog or feel weird about it, and then the surgery might not even go that great. Like the dog surgery might, I don't know, are the vets really that great? Are they the best skilled surgeons?
And the dog's in the pit bull universe, so it's probably you're like increasing the chance the dog thrashes your kids in the next 2 years.
Yeah,
you almost got out of jail quick, where it's like, all right, 6 months left. All right, like we're on the clock. Now you have 2 more years of a pit bull in the house.
So, and what would the situation be? Say this woman was a billionaire. Pay the tab, right?
Yeah,
pay the tab. You love your dog, great, easy. Canceling Christmas, ruining, your child's, one of their formative years just because the dog needs an extra 6 months on his clock.
This might sound bad, and this might be like going too far.
Okay.
I don't think people should like dogs that much.
I know. That's fine. You're on a different level. You don't have bonding. You don't bond with your dog.
Like, I like the dog. I like Jerry.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think it's a mistake, and let me know in the comments if you guys agree. Maybe I'm way off. I think it's a mistake to use like too much love energy on a dog.
I think, yeah.
So I think
they're fine. I think that's a man situation. Women kind of love dogs more than men do, and they go, "Oh, he's a little baby." Look,
you think he's a baby is why.
I know,
which is also not good.
But you're also like keeping your dog at an arm's distance. Like, yeah. Do what I said.
I don't even know his name. He feeds himself. Yeah. Oh, he's dead? Whatever. I'll get another one.
Yeah. But whatever.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm not going to take too strong of a stance on that because I have good relationships with dogs. Dog is man's best friend, but I'm not choosing my dog over my family's Christmas.
Yeah.
So.
Which is basically my take as well.
Yeah.
With a little more.
With a little harshness.
Yeah. Salt in the wound. Okay. Page 2 of Cringe. We have a lot more cringe to get through. The Trans Hockey League, which was promoted by the NHL, which honestly is a fantastic idea. I would watch trans hockey over any women's sport ever.
Me too.
I would watch any trans league. So if you guys are kind of going
it's
around,
not the reason you guys want us to watch. That's the big difference.
Yeah, it's not because I'm an equity inclusion ally or whatever.
It's because I'm a freak watcher.
It's because I'm a collector of pets.
Exactly.
And it's like if there was a trans league of anything, I would watch it more than the NFL.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a guy with the Michael Vick jersey on.
Okay, so do you want me to give you the rundown of what happened here?
Give me the quote.
Okay, so the NHL is proud to support this past weekend's Team Trans Draft Tournament in Middleton, Wisconsin. So this was the first tournament comprised entirely of transgender and non-binary players with around 80 folks participating. They used the Obama folks.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like semi-sanctioned by the NHL. It's part of their little thing. They want less whites. They want less men. They want a black woman to lead the whole thing and ruin it, which is fine. That's their prerogative. If you want to slowly decay from the inside, fine. But so there was a little bit of a controversy, right? Where someone got hurt.
Yeah.
Someone got hurt, and that person got hurt. The person who got hurt didn't have a penis, and the person who hurt them had a penis. So
got concussed.
Yeah, it said so. This athlete is recounting what happened to her. Said, once I was out playing the puck, I took a very odd fall into the boards, in which I needed medical attention to make sure my neck and extremities were okay. For physical safety, I was stretchered off the ice and taken to the ER. I am okay, blah, blah, blah. This article goes on to say there was an enormous difference in size between the two teams. Height, weight, shoulder width, muscles, and the differences were plain to even a child. And there was a single team. The pink team ended up stacked with physically imposing biological men, trans women. And by no coincidence, that team also went on to become tournament champions. And so this thing, hold on, I got to find the right quote.
Thing? What was thing about?
Nothing. It was a filler word.
But you're not referring to anyone as thing. No, human.
I'm taking a break from the podcast for a second. I'm trying to find out where it was. So basically, a woman was just pushed to the ground by a player of Team Pink who self-describes as a bisexual trans woman. Bisexual meaning I still used my dick for whatever I feel like that day. And I'm trying to find the quote, but it said basically this woman got a concussion, strained neck, and took 17 minutes to get stretchered off the ice. So it was a total catastrophe.
Well, that sounds like what you'd expect.
Yeah, that's pretty much like they keep proving us right. It's like this weird thing where we always get proven right and it's always the same. And what I found interesting is this was like a charity event. This wasn't like Leah Thomas in the NCAA finals. You know, this was a charity event. It's for fun. So you'd think the trans people would just be like, oh, whatever, you know, it's not that competitive. But no, their bloodlust to dominate women is so strong that they even had to concuss somebody on this.
They had to kill a chick
on this charity event. So
hey, I love that league. I'm not making jokes when I say I would watch it over women's sports. Let's check in on women's sports. I don't know. Let's spin the wheel and pick a random sport. Field hockey. Let's check in on women's field hockey and see what they're up to.
Maybe the state championship has like some good highlights.
I'm sure they do.
Oh, here we go. This is a penalty shot for the state championship.
Imagine adding a guy to that.
Let's add a dude. Let's add a dude to put some slap shots on that.
Shots. Scoring in the top right corner of the goal. The girl can't even reach.
Dude, hey, and this is the state championship game. I want to see the lowest ranked team in the state. I want to see what they're up to.
Yeah, that's who won the state championship.
Oh, my God.
It just trickled in. And I'm happy for those girls. I'm happy there's no guys on the team. And they had fun, and that's good. I'm not making fun of them.
Me too.
That's just pretty, you know.
Like, guys shouldn't compete with that is kind of the end of that.
Yeah,
it's happy for them, great. Guys shouldn't compete.
All right, next, there is a trans person who picked suicide or is going to pick suicide.
Yes, Nathan Verrilhest, 44, died yesterday afternoon after being allowed to have his life ended on grounds of unbearable psychological suffering. And so this is a person who went trans. It was a woman who tried to become a man, went trans, said, hey, that didn't work, and then had the government assist their suicide in Belgium. So absolute catastrophe. He was born Nancy, was disappointed by the sex change results. And I think this is kind of the key crux of the issue here. Is this was attempting to be a man, right? Mm-hmm. And so this person had been trans since I think it said 2009. So that's a long time to be trans, right?
It's a long time.
And so I think they got the surgery, called themselves and saw themselves as an abomination after that, after whatever floppy thing they added to the front hole didn't really work out. And I think they said, I got to take the suicide route. Government, Belgium, can you help me? And Belgium, of course, obliged.
which is interesting. And that's a type of situation that you don't hear much about because you always hear about the good stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why on the show, even though it's dark, we kind of have to highlight it.
It's very dark. And I think that's the thing. It's like gender affirming care, as they like to package it and call it. Doesn't really affirm much when you take a piece of your forearm and you get a floppy dick that you put your urethra through. I think that you kind of have some suicidal thoughts after that.
Yeah. I think it's like a 2% success rate, to be honest. And they're making it seem like it's a 95% success rate.
Yep.
All right.
So it kind of blends two things: trans surgery and how gruesome and plastic it is. Like, you know, it's basically just plastic surgery, and then euthanasia, which we're seeing more and more countries offer to people.
Yeah.
And this article actually said, sorry to go too long on it, 1 in 50 deaths is now state-assisted euthanasia. 1 in 50.
Wow.
So
that's going to keep going up.
Yeah.
They're going to just take everything from you until you have nothing, to the point where you're just like, all right, well, at least I have the ability to kill myself.
Pain pills or suicide, my friend? Which way, Western white guy?
Exactly. All right, next, Dash Dabrowski with the worst take ever. Elon Musk has been doing Twitter files. So I think he did 5 Twitter files so far, talking about Trump getting banned, talking about the corroboration with the government and
involvement.
FBI, exactly. Now he's going after Fauci, saying Fauci should be prosecuted. My pronouns are prosecute Fauci. And we obviously used to sell the
Arrest
Fauci shirt.
Yeah.
So we don't sell it anymore, but we stopped selling it like a year ago. So it's like, that's how early we were.
Yeah.
Now he's saying prosecute Fauci, and then Dash Dabrowski has the worst take of all time. Give it a read, please.
Elon Musk said his pronouns are prosecute Fauci. Fauci is a hero who served the U.S. for 50 years. Musk is now calling for the arrest of an innocent man. It seems Musk's goal is not to make money from Twitter. It appears his goal is to destabilize the West.
Which is like the craziest take of all time. We just had the biggest transfer of wealth ever. They keep printing money. They rolled out an experimental vaccine, which is fucking people up and killing people. After 2 years of lockdowns, destroyed everyone's businesses. We have like the most political division of all time. They're convincing little boys that they're girls. 1 in 5 people is gay. Crimes aren't being prosecuted. Criminals are being released on the street. There's like 50 million illegal immigrants here.
Southern border's wide open.
Southern border's wide open. Our mail-in voting system is a joke. But Elon Musk,
exposing some little cover-ups,
is the one who's trying to destabilize the West. It's like, hey, Dash, we're a little late. You're a little late for worrying about who's destabilizing the West. It's already been done, buddy.
Yeah, we're like one of those houses on the outer banks of North Carolina that's on stilts, and like the ground's already mostly going away. Like, you want to talk about destabilize? It's not in the last year.
And I think in that tweet thread, he said Elon Musk is behaving like a foreign asset. It's like, Dash, that's you.
Dash.
That's who pays you the money.
You'll say anything for a fucking
you get
check.
The money from George Soros.
He goes,
that's you.
Yeah. Why is this payment in rubles? I said everything they wanted me to.
Yeah. So that's like an incredible take.
That's actually a leftist take right there, that Russia is influencing it, because it's not, obviously.
Yeah. Russia's, no more brother wars with Russia.
Yeah.
And Ratboy and I were talking about this the other day, kind of like the pitfalls of the, for American boys. Like back in the day when our parents were growing up, you could either be like a jock, a nerd, a theater kid, like a punk kid, a goth kid, or like, and you kind of had your pick. But like a bunch of the groups you picked were like going to be good and okay.
Yeah, there's a path forward.
Yeah, there's a path forward. And now it's like you're a muscle pup, you're a demi boy, you're two-spirit, you're a twink, you're a jock. Like
fentanyl's there.
You're a pill popper, you're a rave kid. You have all these like things to get involved in that take you down, not up.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's like back in the day, it's like if you had 1,000 kids, like 700 of them were going in the right direction and 300 of them were like, whatever. Now it's like 90 kids are maybe going in the right direction in the younger generations, if I had to guess.
There are just more pitfalls, more opportunities to like lose your identity and go into like a waste your time, waste your energy thing, Oh, I want to be like the sports betting guy. I'm the big sports better. Like waste your time. Oh, I'm ruined financially. Oh, I'm the fentanyl. I'm the pill popper. I'm the raver. Like you said, there's so many different things that you can fall into and just kind of like never recover from.
That gets you nowhere. It gets you with no money, no family, or nothing, and then just makes you a consumer part of society that's just like in debt and waiting for Klaus Schwab to give you the peas.
Tell you which bugs to
tell you
spice
which
up.
bugs to eat.
Yeah.
And make mealworm burgers. And that's where we're at.
Yep.
Next, we're heading into Urban Decay, but before we do, guys, this week's Urban Decay is brought to you by our friends over at FleccasMerch.com. We have the best merch in the game. We have the Clinton shirt. We have the Synthwave Trump shirt. We have the Trader Joe's shirt. Fleccas Talks the Fire hoodie. Fleccas Talks the Show hoodie. All very cool things. We got Trader Joe's mugs too. Go to FleccasMerch.com. Put your order in today. It will get there before Christmas if you put it in today. Now's the time. You have some gifts for people in your life. Get them a couple t-shirts. Get them a mug. Do it now. Do it now. I need the money. I'm desperate. I have nothing. If you don't do this, you screwed me. And you owe me $50. Next, Urban Decay. George Floyd 2. We have a George Floyd 2 situation in this week's Urban Decay.
Yeah, and this is kind of going on with a theme that we've been talking about for the last few episodes, right? Mm-hmm. Entitled criminals.
Entitled criminals,
People
yes.
who don't think they're going to get caught. They don't think that anything's going to happen to them. Let's just watch this.
He's just very confused as to why he's being apprehended. Let me steal. What are you doing?
This is illegal.
Looks at the camera. I can't start yelling. I can't breathe. Yelling, I can't breathe, too. And then here's the thing, too. It's like, obviously call the police, but let's also call the fashion police on that guy right there. And it's a guy with a purse who's just standing around not helping. Why am I not surprised?
Yeah.
Let's call the police and the fashion police, because this guy needs to get locked up, too.
There he is.
He's just standing around not helping.
So, holding stolen merch. He won't give up the merch. He can't breathe, but he won't give up the merch.
And you say, this is illegal.
This is illegal. Detaining me is illegal after I just illegaled you.
Yeah.
So it's great, man. It's fun living here with the two different laws and the entitled criminals and stuff. Because the funny thing is, he's a little bit right. You might get in trouble for holding someone like that back.
Yeah, you should let him go.
But yeah, hilarious. Entitled criminals, right?
Yep. Next, there's a San Francisco guy who attacked somebody, and they're holding him down until the cops get there. And then this lady with stretched out ears is saying, like, what are you doing? You gotta let him go.
And that sucks, but why do you have to call the cops over that?
Look at my ear. Like, this is assault. What do you mean? It's battery.
Punch the guy. She says, why do you have to call the cops over that?
Should we just let that happen? I just gotta...
No, but you shouldn't be calling the cops.
Why not?
Then why are you letting this organization detain people like that? Punch them in the face. So then why don't they come for it?
You want him to kick his ass?
And there's the guy. So this lady with the stretched out ears is having her worldview messed up because the black guy is calling the cops on the white criminal to get him in trouble, and she's under the impression that cops are white supremacists or whatever, white supremacy, but she's ignoring the fact that a black guy is calling the cops on a white criminal, and the cop who shows up is not white either.
I think she comes up to the situation, and the only thing she thinks is police are bad. So whatever's happening here, no matter what happened before it, no matter what's going on right now, don't call the police on someone.
Yeah. Police are white supremacy.
Yeah. And it's like, so what's the solution? Okay, lady, let's do it your way. Should we beat the shit out of him right now? Like, does he need he needs his punishment, right? And we as society have agreed to outsource that punishment to police, right? That's part of our social contract in America.
And her probably like, why did he hit you?
Yeah.
Does he need something?
Yeah.
Does he need $50?
Do you need something for your family? And it's like heroin.
He attacks her too.
And so, I mean, what a delusional woman. I'm glad this got caught on camera. This is the type of woman who, back in 1492, her small town would get conquered and she'd just go right with the captors.
Yeah.
She'd just be like, okay, I'm sorry, whatever. Forget my husband, whoever. So literally just a representation of the worst thing in politics right now.
Yeah.
Brutal white women.
Who are wanting to control what people do.
Yeah.
It's like the last people we should listen to have ears like that. And then she like exactly like you said, she thinks cops are the problem, cops are racist, but the criminal is white, the guy calling the cops is black, and then the cop who showed up is Asian.
Yeah.
So it's like, lady, I don't know if you should keep applying your truths to your behavior because we're not getting as far as you think we are.
That black guy, I love him. He has the exact same thing as me. Like, you want to beat the shit out of him right now? Like, stop street justice this?
Well, the cops are here.
Yeah.
They'll let him go.
Yeah.
So it's like, you should like the cops, lady. They're going to let him go.
Yeah, they're gonna do like a process where they fingerprint him, bring him in, and then the DA is just gonna say, "Good game, buddy. Get back out there."
Get back out there 2 hours later.
Yeah. So.
All right. Next we have, and this is in line with the same idea of like the cities going to the lowest common denominator, and then all the people in the cities who actually keep the city going are leaving. This is a guy who lives on Long Island, who's from New York and just moved to Long Island because the New York City is too crazy.
Where are you from?
New York. I was born in the city. I live on Long Island now.
What's your favorite part about living in New York?
Living on Long Island.
So you don't like Manhattan that much, or why?
It's a freak show.
I like the answer. It's very honest and different from a lot of people. What do you mean by freak show?
A lot of weirdos, a lot of mental patients, a lot of crime, a lot of dirt. I understand there's a lot of things to do in New York. It's a tourist attraction and all that, but I'm done with all that, and now I'm here for work. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Which is exactly it. The people who built the city are long gone, and now they're going to leave it for the drag queens, the pedophiles, and the criminals. And see how long we can go with that.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
As long as they get their permits. As long as the drag queens get their permits, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. Last piece of urban decay. Pregnant black women are getting UBI in California.
Yeah, so it says San Francisco guaranteed income program for pregnant black women to expand across California. San Francisco has a guaranteed income program for transgender residents that provides payments of up to $1,200 a month. So this is a new category. They're doing the trans experiment. Now they have pregnant black women. They give you $1,000 a month for 12 months. They did a pilot program for like 150 women. So what is that? Over 150 grand right there, right? Times 12. 150 grand times 12. You do the math. So not crazy dollar amount, but this is what they're massaging themselves into, right? And it's expanding. They're now expanding it to other counties in California. So the virus continues.
The virus continues. Money for everyone as long as you're not a straight white male.
Well, we were talking about this before the show. I think that, people like Andrew Yang and those types have often talked about universal basic income. And I think we just figured out how they're going to roll it out. They're going to give it to every minority or weird affected group. And then eventually it's going to be like, all right, everybody's getting about $2,000 a month. We're pretty good. And then white men are just like, we run this city.
I work in the hole.
Yeah.
I work in the hole for $100 a day.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So don't count on any sort of programs to give you money, viewer, if you're a white man. But yeah, take advantage of this if you can and waste their money. The funny thing is, in any context where like the government is handing out money to someone, there was an opportunity for them to not take the money in the first place. You know what I mean? But governments, and especially liberal governments, they don't give that up. They just redistribute it. They don't say, okay, if you're pregnant and you show it to the city, you don't have to pay property taxes this year. That would make too much sense, right? Just cut them some slack. No, they still need the revenue. They just like divvying out to their boys, their friends.
They have to collect the money. They're going to keep collecting more and more, and then they get to decide what kind of stuff to do. So it's like if you're doing UBI for the trans people and then the black pregnant people, it's like that means we got extra money.
Yeah.
Well, we give $100 billion to Ukraine, and then we're giving a lot of money to the trans people. It's like, what's my tax bracket?
Yeah. What am I doing? And
that's why I don't pay taxes. I'm just kidding. I do pay taxes.
But that's the thing. It's like, what's California state income tax? It's 10%, right? And so at any point, California could go, hey, pregnant women, or if you're starting a family, your state income tax is waived for the year that you're pregnant. Whatever year you give birth in, that whole year, you're free. And it's like, that's giving someone a 10% raise. But that would make too much sense. They would never do that. They need to take the money, then they give it to their buddies who get reelected. It's a whole game.
They need to take the money from the haves and give it to the have-nots.
Yeah, who they conveniently decide are all the oppressed people.
Yeah. But don't get too down. Don't let it depress you. We are moving on into our Uplifting Gold section. All right, this week's Uplifting Gold is brought to you by our friends over at Gold River Trading Company. Guys, now is the time to pick up some great holiday gifts. The tea drinker in your life. Look at this lovely package that Gold River Trading Company sent me. It comes like this. It's super nice. GoldRiverCo.com is the website. Go there today and pick up a batch of tea. Why buy tea from companies that hate your guts and don't like you and want to make your kids trans? Why not support companies that share your America First values? Gold River Trading Company has sponsored the podcast probably like 30 times. So let's support them right back. It makes a great gift. If you put the order in today, it will be there by Christmas. Get the tea drinker in your life something great. Maybe add a base mug in there. If you send me a receipt for at least $40 from Gold River Trading Company, I will send you a free based mug. GoldRiverCo.com is the website. Links are in description. Go get some tea today. It's a great holiday gift. They support the show. Let's support them right back. It's a high quality product and it tastes really good. No more buying tea from Starbucks or Coffee Bean. Gold River Trading Company is the place to get your tea. Links are in the description. Let's get into Uplifting Gold. All right, Uplifting Gold. Don't get too depressed from all that stuff we just put you through.
The nice part is a lot of that stuff, if you make the right choices, you can avoid it completely.
Yeah,
right?
You can laugh at it.
You can live in a rural area with your nice family, and you go to a school that like is a co-op of parents, and you don't teach your kids any of this shit.
Yeah.
But,
you can live, laugh, love freely.
Yeah.
Away from that stuff.
You can put that on your kitchen. Live, laugh, love.
That's right.
And you can truly do it.
All right, first piece of Uplifting Gold. John Fetterman is considered the most stylish person by New York Times.
Yeah, this is one of those clown subversion things that they do monthly to check in, make sure they tell you the opposite so they see how many people believe it. And it says the New York Times names John Fetterman in its 93 most stylish people of 2022. Quote, Fetterman is going to bring Carhartt to the Capitol.
Hey, I like that because that's how I dress every day. So this is great news for basketball shorts and hoodies people, which is me. So that's great. That's uplifting.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go fast through uplifting a little bit, faster than usual, because we are running out of time.
Okay. Too many pages of housekeeping. Best housekeeping of all time.
That's why. We'd rather have housekeeping over uplifting gold, right? No one's even watching at this point.
I agree.
They just get depressed and turn it off at 32 minutes. All right. Tree open in house. Christmas fail.
Oh, my God, I said it's taking all the light.
It's a Christmas miracle.
I already knew that was going to happen. It was like, did you see how long the branches were that were that tucked?
Yeah, exactly. Next is caricature.
Yeah, caricature.
Caricature of this couple.
The tooth hole.
And they love it. And he got absolutely roasted, and they loved it. I had that in New Orleans. I tried to get a guy to roast me, and then he just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Remember?
He drew you too nice.
He drew me nice, which is, I appreciate.
I've seen that account before. They skewer everyone who comes up. They find the one thing you're insecure about, and then they make it the entire point of the caricature. So,
hey, that's pure Americana.
Yeah.
All right. Next, the guy giving out the beans. This is great.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? Everyone's getting beans. It's Christmas.
What's the point of that? What are they up to?
I don't know.
It seems like you can see on the counter, it seems like they spilled a lot of the beans. I don't know if they're even beans.
They dumped it out, and it's at some sort of computer club, and then the beans come out, and they just dump them.
So this is uplifting gold today, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone got beans.
Okay.
You get beans. You get beans. You get beans. Hey, there's enough beans to go around. Times are good. That's uplifting.
Yep.
All right. Next, let's do the comedian making fun of the pro-choice people.
This is a great bit.
These are comedians I can support.
It's interesting how some liberal women will be like, octopuses are really smart. They have feelings and emotions. They're smarter than you think they are. Or trees have energy. They exude energy, or like mushrooms, they're interconnected. But when it comes to the fetuses, they're like, it's just a clump of cells. It's just a fucking clump of cells.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I mean, dude, we've talked about this, right? Like the abortion argument, the abortion debate, whatever. If you can at least just admit it's more than nothing, and you can still say, I wanted the ability to do it. I want the ability to terminate a pregnancy because of XYZ and controlling your own destiny and blah, blah, blah. But you have to acknowledge it's not nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the problem.
Bare minimum, acknowledge it's not nothing, and you can't do that. They can't do that.
That's why I used to do it with the man on the street videos. It's like, if you're pro-choice, like that's fine, that's your opinion, but you kind of got to know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I'm just a guy, girls can do whatever they want. It's like, if you're pro-choice, this is what you're saying is okay. And like, here's what a baby looks like at first, second, and third trimester. And if you're fine with that getting aborted all the way through,
you just have to confront me and face me on that, you know?
Okay,
yeah.
That's your opinion, but you're a sick fuck. Let's not pretend it's just some clump of cells type of thing.
Yep.
Next, we already did the giving out the beans.
You want to go back to the beans?
All right. Next, the Christmas gift lady.
Throughout the year, I take things from my family and they think that it's missing. Then on Christmas, I give it back to them.
I've been looking for this purse for 3 months.
And now you found it.
And now you found it.
That has to be set up. Dude.
Yeah, it's funny. It's Christmas.
I think that's from like Extreme Cheapskates. TLC,
yeah.
Extreme Cheapskates. I think
Classic.
we could do a deep dive into some TLC shows on this podcast.
Yeah.
So
those TLC shows don't get enough juice for how much good content they have.
Mhm.
The people eating the inside of the couch.
Oh yeah, I just keep eating the filling of the couch, mattress filling.
I went through 3 couches this year. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You ate 3 couches this year? All right, last clip of Uplifting Goal. Let's leave it all on a positive note.
The nuts at the cafe, the beans?
We already did the beans.
Why not again? Why not again? It's the last 3 minutes of the podcast, guys.
Computer cafe beans, we already did. Growing up, did you ever try and find the gifts for Christmas?
Yes. And I found him once. I found
Once?
I found him and then I knew that was the spot. But what's the point? I'm not going to be able to get it. So what do I want to spoil it?
I used to find them, and then I would try to make deals like, hey, I already saw the hockey sticks. Let me just get them now. School's out for a couple days before Christmas. Let me get the sticks early. I already saw them.
And that was the one thing that kind of actually bothered me all the time. Like if you were getting a gift that was winter specific, I got to wait and waste a whole month of snow and winter until I get the hockey stick. The ice is out there right now, Mom. You know?
Yeah.
So that is the one part where I would say,
Give me the gift early, and I'm
Yeah.
knocking on Christmas Day, go, I didn't get enough. I'm going to go, I had the gifts early, and then I got a couple more.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy. All right, last one. The lady at the fast food place.
Yep.
Gets TikToked.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Question. I forgot my wallet at home. Is there any chance I could get like a piece of bread?
No problem. Just want something to eat.
Yeah.
You want a cup of coffee?
You sure?
I paid for it.
Are you sure?
Pay for it, yes.
Why are you doing that?
We're human and we have to be nice to each other.
Very
Never
good.
know when I might see you on the road and you might be of help to me.
I'm Zachary, by the way. Nice
I'm
to meet
Sonia.
you. Are you sure?
Yes, I would pay for it. Don't worry about it. I'm very sure. If I wasn't sure, I wouldn't do it. We have to be kind to each other. It's okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, young man. And you do something nice to somebody every day. Pay it forward, it's called.
Can I pay it forward right now?
Next person you see, you pay it forward to somebody.
I actually had my wallet right here.
Oh,
At $1,000.
oh my God. This guy is something else. Okay.
For you.
No.
Yeah, I'll pay it forward back to you.
What?
Yeah. I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
What's your message to the world?
We were brought up to be kind, not to be hateful. My mother always said we have one blood, and there's no black and white.
That's very nice. Nice, like Jamaican lady.
Yeah, probably.
That's nice. That's what, and she, you know, maybe she knew she was going to be on a TikTok. Maybe she saw him with the rig and streaming. Who knows? But did the right thing.
What if he walked away without giving her any money and she goes, "Hey, you were filming. You owe me $1,000."
Yeah. Or what if she was like one of the people that aren't so nice at the fast food place? Like, no money, you got to go. Get out.
Get
Next
out.
in line.
We had enough of you. We had enough of you.
Next in line.
You was in here last week, weren't you?
Next in line. Oh, man. Well, that's the end of the episode. Another Fleccas Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. all the good stuff. FleccasMerch.com for the best merch in the game. FleccasToys.com for those very cool action figures. If you guys want a based mug, if you're still into based mugs, we have basedmug.com is the available site where you can get the based mugs. And make sure you check out My Patriot Supply and Gold River Trading Company for those products. They sponsor the show. Links are in the description. Go buy something. Tell them Fleccas sent you. And this is probably a bad time to announce this. It's the very end of the episode. But this is the last episode before January. We're off for the rest of the year. So if you guys want a bonus episode that comes out the week of Christmas on that Monday, go to patreon.com/Fleccas or YouTube join. We are going to do a bonus land episode on Monday, but that is going to be the last episode before the new year. So thank you guys for joining that. It's $2 a month. Get in while you still can. It's going to be grandfathered in at $2 a month. Next year, 2023, it's going to be $3 or $4 a month. So now's the time to get in while you still can. Thank you guys for doing that. It goes a long way. We will see you at the next one.